www.takemytrip.com. www.takemytrip.com. Savin S. Hegde.
Have you ever wanted to do something international? Yes? Why are the Sri Lankans raising your hands? You're already doing something international. Well, I got my first chance to go to Jakarta, Indonesia. For the first time, I was doing something international. Well, not really. The first time I did something international was taking part in the international speech contest at the club level and lost it. As you would expect, I was excited. I was waiting in line to collect my first ever international boarding pass. My turn came up. I stepped forward, put my luggage on the weighing scale. The number said 38.5. Sir, every kilogram above 22.5 is $10. What? I was still recuperating from the shock. Meanwhile, the lady who was behind me was now beside me. She placed her bag on the weighing scale. And guess what? The weighing scale said exactly 22.5. Hey, how did you do that? Very simple. When I pack my bag, I weigh it. Whatever is above 22.5, I remove it and I wear it. Well, I have a question for you. Assuming your bag was empty, would it work the other way around too? She didn't answer that question. She pulled a bag, walked across. I took my bag, walked behind her. I walked, and stepped inside the airplane. As soon as I stepped inside the airplane, the first class aroma, yes. I looked to my left, there she was, not the 22.5. The air hostess. She said, Selimang Datang. I looked at her closely. She looked exactly like Jacqueline Fernandez. Don't ask me from which side. Yes, Jacqueline Fernandez is the famous Bollywood heroine. She was also Miss Sri Lanka, by the way. Nowadays, the Sri Lankans miss her. I looked around. It was a first-class cabin. Each person had individual leather seats, individual LCD screens, individual headsets. And guess what? They also had individual wine glass. Sadly, I wasn't allowed to sit in the first class. Sir, can you please move to the economy class? Oh, okay. I moved into the economy class. As soon as I stepped into the economy class, I realized that they give unlimited wine in the first class, but the toilets are in economy class. As luck would have it, I had to sit between two gigantic guys. It was very comfortable. Yes. Some of you are thinking about the semi-final contest, the way you guys sat yesterday. This was worse. Nobody had to introduce us. Hi. It was nice touching you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my touching moment. The air hostess walked in to give us the safety instructions. Terima kasih. Please wear your seat belts. In case of an emergency water landing, use your seats as the floating device. People who can swim, use the left exit. People who can't, don't exit. In case of drop in air pressure, there will be masks coming in front of you. Please ensure you fix your mask first before you help your child. Now, there was one lady with 2 children in the next row. She stood up. If you have 2 children, pick the one that you love the most. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. I was sitting back, relaxing and enjoying. I looked to my right. Now, this guy was reading some magazine. It said Boy Play or Playboy or whatever. And then he started tickling me. Hey! I spent the next half an hour explaining to him that Playboy and playing with the boy are 2 different things. I picked up my magazine now. It was Forbes. I looked at the cover page. Somebody familiar was there. Hey, is this you? Yes. What? You are the CEO of this airline. You are a millionaire. And why are you sitting in economy class? You are international, man. You go to the first class. Now, you call me international. What do you mean by international? What do you know about being international? Is it traveling in first class, going to different countries, meeting different people? No. Being international is touching people's lives. Across the globe, not just here, but here. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, that day up in the air, I made a decision that I'm going to be international by winning the international speech contest at the club level. No, really, contest master.
We'll now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges' 8:55 p.m. flight are requested to leave the auditorium by 5 p.m., collect their luggage from the organizer's room, and get ready for the bus which will leave at 5:30 p.m.
Check.
The Sri Lankans who are leaving by the 8:55 p.m. flight are requested to leave the auditorium at 5 p.m., collect their luggage from the organizer's room, and get ready for the bus which will leave at 5:30 p.m. Manwani. Speech title, Mind Your Rajdeep Manwani.
My son Pratyush is 8 years old. Whenever we go to any function or get together, some uncle or relative will come up to him and pull his cheek and say, "Oh, so you're Rajdeep's son. Oh, so you're Rajdeep's son." When this happened 3 or 4 times, it irritated him to no end. He went up to his mother and told, "Mommy, what is this? Everybody calls me Rajdeep's son." My wife told him, "Assert your identity. Next time tell I am Pratyush." The very next day, we went to a function and there was this lady who came up to him and said, "Oh, so you're Rajdeep's son." She looked at him straight in the eye and said, "My mother doesn't think so." after that day, whenever we went to any function, any friend or relative would walk up to Pratyush, even before they would ask him, I would blurt out, I'm Pratyush's father. Fellow Toastmasters and contest chair, language plays such an important role in our life, but we hardly mind our language. Let me illustrate this with what happened in the sports day of our college, where I'm a lecturer. We had invited the celebrated women's cricket captain of the Indian team, Mrs. Shanta Rangaswamy, as our chief guest. The master of ceremonies was one Mr. Kuppuswamy. He was a very ordinary accounts teacher, but an extraordinary MC. He started off his introduction, ladies, gentlemen, and the principal. Today we have amongst us an international figure. All the boys stared at Mrs. Shanta Rangaswamy and the girls, they didn't know where to look. He continued, now I will call her to come here and deliver. Mrs. Shanta Rangaswamy turned red. She was wondering, have I come here to give an award or am I in the maternity ward? As Mrs. Shanta Rangaswamy was walking up the stairs, some students burned crackers outside the auditorium and there was a huge explosion. Mr. Kuppuswamy stared at Mrs. Shanta Rangaswamy and said, oh, what a bomb! After that day, Mr. Kuppuswamy was regarded as an extraordinary accounts teacher for his in-depth knowledge of figures and a very ordinary MC, which prompted him to join Toastmasters. But language can also play havoc in a very office environment. I was working as the coordinator in Shivananda Electronics, and there was a customer who hadn't paid his dues for the past 4 months. I went up to the secretary and I asked her to make him a call. After a few hours, I asked her, Miss Lily, did you make a call? She told, yes, sir, I made the call. Then I told, then what happened, Miss Lily? She told, sir, ringing is there, sir, but lifting is not there. Miss Lily had made grammar sound so silly. But language can be used in the most extraordinary ways by our very own teachers. I had joined a yoga class and the yoga instructor, Mr. Papalingaya, started off. I will teach you all yoga from my end. I hope your ends are fine also. Then he guided us for proper breathing. He said, let your nose eat the air and let it percolate and tickle all the parts of your body. And then slowly let it out. Somebody from the back shouted, from where, sir? I turned back and said, what? And I saw it was... And I saw Saveen Hegde. But language can be used in the most extraordinary way by our students. I had set a technical paper in which I had asked a very technical question. What precautions do you take so that your check does not bounce? And the most brilliant answer for which I had to give full marks was, if you do not want your check to bounce, then please drop it slowly. But language is the very foundation of our identity and our names. I had a student from Jamaica and I had his name which spelled S-I-I-B-O-M-B-A. I asked him, do I pronounce your name as C Bomba or Sai Bomba? He told me, no sir, you don't pronounce my name as C Bomba or Sai Bomba. You pronounce my name as Bamba. He had a whistle in his name. Imagine names in India with whistles. Mala, Gauri, all the eve-teasing problems in our country would immediately get solved. But language can be used most extraordinarily in our Toastmaster itself. The other day, the general evaluator didn't turn up, and I was approached by the MC Anmol. He told me, Rajdeep, you have to be the general evaluator. I told, why me, Anmol? He told, Rajdeep, you are the only person who can speak without thinking. But Toastmasters language gets into our very blood. We are always trained to refrain from taboo topics. And the other day after a Toastmasters meeting, I went home. My son came up to me and he told me, Papa, tell me about Manmohan Singh. I told, shh, no politics. I went to my dinner table and my mother asked me, why don't you say your prayers, beta? I told, Mummy, no religion. After that, I went to my bedroom. My wife looked at me and I said no. After that, my marriage has never been the same. I realized marriage is a part of living, but managing Toastmasters with marriage is the art of living. Contest chair. Can you save my marriage by giving me a solution? I'm sorry, I forgot. Even you two are a Toastmaster. Thank you.
April 1998. Did anyone know the importance of this day? Well, it's neither the birthday of my current girlfriend nor the wedding anniversary of my past girlfriend. It's just a random day to grab everyone's attention. A speech should have an attention-grabbing beginning, right? That's one of my learning from Toastmasters so far. Let me stop kidding. That was an unforgettable day in my career life. On that day, I had my first performance appraisal discussion with my manager, Sailesh. I was totally excited. My salary hike is going to be decided based on this meeting. But Sailesh had other plans. Do you know, he didn't allow me to talk on that meeting. Instead, he bombarded me with advice. The essence of his advice was, Manoj, scale up towards a global citizen. We are living in a global village. If you want to continue in this industry, be ready to embrace other cultures. You are benchmarked against the competitive engineers from China, US, and UK. When my manager paused for a breath, I interrupted. And with great determination, I told, I, Manoj Rajan, hereby pledge that I am ready to embrace anything and anyone if that leads to a salary hike. After all, we all are Indians, always run behind money. I was back to my seat and started searching in Google. I searched for books titled Global Citizenship in 24 Hours. Global Citizenship for Dummies. Couldn't find anything. I was not disappointed. I searched until Google was tired. At the end, I could come up with a 4-step plan, which anyone can change to become a global citizen. And here starts the mission, Manoj++. None of the universities had offered me an honorary doctorate, but still I was pleased with my finding. Step 1. Previously, when I had an opportunity to cite an example, I usually used the names of my colleagues, Rajesh, Suresh, or Santosh. I stopped it. Instead, I started using the name Brian, Charlie, Monica. These names were very well accepted by my friends. Then I started using my own words preceded with Brian stated, Charlie mentioned, Monica proclaimed. My team members accepted it too much. And I heard my friends were talking. Manoj started thinking globally. As per step 2, I had made an innovative and revolutionary observation about our office premises. The force that withdrawing Indian employees to think globally is the unavailability of toilet papers in Indian office toilets. I wrote a strong mail to the senior management about their lack of vision in enabling its employees to think globally. I know any change I have to make, I need to start with myself. So I brought 2 rolls of toilet papers and kept it at my office desk. During team meetings, I promoted myself as a sales representative of toilet papers. That again triggered a lot of discussions in office, and I heard my friends were murmuring. Manoj started thinking globally. As per step 3, I had taken a crucial decision in my life. I have decided to marry a foreign lady. That's the best spirit I can show towards global citizenship. But I published my profile in different countries' matrimonial portals with a passport-size photo. I was very confident about my outlook. Before meeting my proposed bride, I need to change my user interface. So I went to the best available gym in Bangalore. On the first day, I was confused with the wide variety of devices in the gym. I asked the master, I want to impress a foreign lady within 2 weeks of time. So which device can I start using here? Master looked at me and took me to a window and showed me a device at the ground floor. To impress any lady, Indian or foreign, you go and start using that machine. With a lot of expectations, I rushed towards the ground floor. But to my surprise, it was an ATM machine. And my marriage plan ended in a deadlock, which I still couldn't open. As part of step 4, I was born and brought up in a village with a lot of trees, rivers, paddy fields, and